Welcome to Power Drive with Alice. Today we are discussing about budgeting. But one thing I can tell you, budgeting does not have to make you suffer. I know it's a very tricky and sensitive issue to talk about for both you and myself, because sometimes we create budget and we don't even stick to it. Sometimes we want to budget so that we can save a coin or two to do a certain project, but we don't stick to it because still there are other things we need or we want, and when we do the budgeting, we can't accommodate everything. Before we talk about the saving, or rather the budgeting details, just know that budgeting does not have to make you suffer. You have to be kind to yourself when you're doing budgeting so that it becomes easy. You have to do budgeting from your heart, something that you are enjoying doing, not something that you're being forced to do, not something that the situation or circumstances are forcing you. Budgeting has to be done from, it has to be a very normal thing to do. It doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to inflict pain. It doesn't have to mean that because you want a drink or you want a nice bag, you want a luxurious something, you can't buy it because you're sticking to budget. Now, this is my first tip when it comes to budgeting. First, you need to have a physical budget. This means that you have to highlight everything that you want or everything that you need, and your budget can be done for a specific period of time, either for 1 month, for 3 months, for 6 months, for 12 months. All this depends with the things you need or want that you need to use like right now, and the things that you also budgeting for long term. So the first thing you need to have is the physical budget. Write down everything that you need. Then from there you can look at how much money you have, and then you can allocate the money to your budget. You can create a budget from Excel spreadsheet. This one, if you're good with Excel, you can do it personally. You don't need assistance. If you're not good with Excel, you can get someone to do it. All what you need to do is just give them a list of your expenses and the cost of each and the total cost of the money that you want spent on those expenses. Then they can just break it down for you, from your monthly subscription to your house shopping, transport, airtime, every coin that you spend. Just make sure you've written a budget on it and stick to the amount of money you've allocated that specific expenditure. That way it will be easy for you to know the amount of money you spend every within specific period of time, so that now the rest of the money that remains, you can either save it or channel it towards investment. The second tip that you need to know so that you can keep track of your budget and save a coin is determining your source of income. Many people do not have one stream of income. They have multiple sources of income. And for those who have multiple sources of income like myself, sometimes they tend to think that they have a lot of money because maybe you're being paid on 10th, then you're paid again on 15th, then someone is sending you money that is owed the last 90 days, and maybe within 30 days you've been paid maybe 3-4 times. You will tend to think that you have a lot of money, and because of that thought alone, you are likely to spend on things which you really don't want, on things that you really don't need, and that money you would have channeled it towards investment or savings. It's very important you identify your sources of income. If there are multiple sources of income, just write down how much are you getting when, and then add up everything and just budget. Allocate this money. When it comes in, I'll pay rent. When this money comes in, I'll pay mortgage. That way it is going to be easier, and it will be also easier for you to have savings and also have extra money for you to invest. And when I say determination of source of income, it's very important to even allocate fun time, any activity that you will do for fun in your budget. Very important if you're going out for drinks to make sure everything is allocated money for. If it's fun time, if you're taking your girlfriend, your boyfriend out for dates, if you're buying gifts, make sure that is also allocated the money that needs to be used there. Now that we have a physical budget, or rather a virtual budget, and we've determined where our income is coming from, or rather we've determined our source of income, so we know how much we need to spend and we know how much is coming in. So the third thing now we need to do is to track our expenses. This is a bit hard because sometimes we go to restaurant, we buy coffee for friends, we have good time, and we don't even carry those receipts. While at it, we tip our waiters and waitresses, and we do not account for that money. While at it, we'll pass by the shop, see something nice, we will still buy, and we do not track that money. It's very important to track every money that you spend, tracking your expenses. If you leave the house with 5,000 on a Saturday morning, it's important to know that I'm going to spend 5,000 on ABCD. By the time I come back, I have balance of 1,000. And if that 1,000 is for miscellaneous, still it's important to track down how did you use the money for miscellaneous. That way it will be good for you to know where your money is going, and you will also be able to tell in a month where your money goes, and then it's easier for you to plan, to say this is where my money goes. Maybe most of my money goes to food, so what I need to do is I need to cut down on food, or maybe most of my money goes to buying food in the restaurant, doing the Uber Eats, the Glovo deliveries and all that, which I am not saying it's bad. It is okay to do it. But then once you track down how much you're spending, for example, on food in restaurants, it's easier to say, if this month I spent 20,000 on restaurant, why not do grocery shopping and a little bit of shopping in the house, which would cost me 10,000. I have gas, I have electricity, water, and I will just cook from home. That way you can save maybe 5,000 or so. It's easier when you track your expenses. If you're spending so much money on skincare products like I do, or on your hair, or on clothes like I do, you know, ladies, we have that problem of impulse buying and all that. And I am not saying it's a good thing, but at least we are coming up with a solution on how to solve the problem. Then it's easier to say, this month I spent 20,000 on clothes. So what I need to do is cut down on the amount of money I spent there. Maybe I can reduce it to 10,000 because my wardrobe is full. I still have so many clothes to wear. So if I cut my expenses on clothes to 10,000, then that means I will have saved 10,000. That savings can be transferred into an investment which can help me generate more money. Tracking your expenses is a very important thing, but you need to train yourself to track your expenses, because most of the time we buy things, we spend money on things, and we can't even remember how we spent the money. Another tip on how to budget and save money is using the 70-30 rule. How this works is that you spend 70% of your income on all your wants and your needs. Then you spend 30% of your income on savings and investments. If 70-30 rule doesn't work for you, you can use the 90-10 rule, which still is okay. That means you spend on your needs and your wants the 90%, and then you use the 10 on savings and investment. What this rule emphasizes most is you having savings and investments, because with that, you know, tomorrow you're safe. You're having a safe haven. When it comes to your finances, you are covered. Sometimes I know it's so hard to follow these rules because we have so many wants and needs. Maybe family is growing, our expenses are becoming more, and it's not easy to stick to the 70-30 rule because maybe you need to take care of your parents in the village, you need to support your family members in one way or the other. So whenever you want to use the 70-30 rule, it becomes very hard, or whenever you want to adhere to 90-10 rule, it still becomes very, very hard, because there are other external expenses that will come to you, and maybe you had not planned, you had not budgeted for them, but you have to take care of them. What I can tell you is this: if you're not able to stick to 70-30 rule, or you can't stick to 90-10 rule because of the external expenses which will find you unplanned, that is maybe your extended family needs, maybe your parents' needs, something comes up and you need to cater for it, and it has to eat up on your savings, on your investments, then just know that you need to either increase your source of income so that you can cover up those other external expenses, or you need to reduce on your expenses so that at least you have something left for saving and investing. It's very important to consider. Sometimes it's hard for one to reduce on their expenses because once your expenditure comes to a certain level, it's so hard to adjust downwards. So if you're not able to adjust downward, what you can do is increase your source of income, get another stream of income so that at least you add onto what you have, and then it's easier for you to cushion for both savings and investment, and still your needs and wants are catered for. The last tip I want to share with you on budgeting, and this one is very important and very dear to me. I actually personally take it very, very serious. It is saving your coin. Whenever you get into your car, you find coins lying just there. When you go to your kitchen, there are coins lying somewhere. When you go to your bedroom, to your handbag, to your TV stand, there are coins somehow. Ma 1 bob umezitupa tu there. Start by saving that 1 bob. Very important, because it's the habit that you cultivate that grows into a big thing. Start by saving that 1 bob, 2 bob, then with time you'll start saving 10 bob, 20, 100, then 1,000 and a lot. If you can't start by saving that 1 bob, how are you going to save 1 million? How possible is it? It's very important. Personally, how I handle money, I take it very, very dear. Even the way I arrange my money in my wallet, I do it very respectfully. You can't find me folding money in some funny manner, or unapata mtu amekunja pesa zake tu in a very weird manner. You disrespecting your money. And if you disrespect it, it is going to disrespect you. Hold your money dear, treat it very well, treat it with its value, and it's going to treat you well as well. So save your coin. Don't throw your coins around. They are very important. And as I conclude with this video, saving, budgeting, investing, it's a very, very good thing. But it doesn't have to deny us the goodness of life. I don't mean we go splashing money on luxury things or buying things that we can't afford to just impress Instagrammers, the Jonases, to just fit in our friends' clique and all that. That is not good, because you'll be hurting yourself. But it's okay to treat yourself once in a while. And if actually you like something, it's still okay to plan for it. If, for example, you want to spend 200,000 on a designer bag, it's okay to save for it. Even if you will save for 1 year or for 2 years, every month, you're just putting in 10,000 for that specific bag. It is fine. When I say let's budget, I don't mean we deny ourselves good things. I don't mean we suffer. I think I said that when we started the video. Let's be kind to ourselves so that if we are going to budget, we are able to achieve our dreams. We are able to achieve the target goal, because when you're budgeting, definitely there is something you're targeting. Maybe you want to buy a certain car, maybe you want to buy a plot, maybe you want to buy a house, maybe you want to build a home for your parents. When you're budgeting, you have a set goal, but you can't achieve that set goal if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied. And to satisfy yourself doesn't mean you splash money on things you don't need. Just do it responsibly. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched up to this far, I really appreciate it. I hope you've learned something in this video. And if you'd like to see more of this kind of content, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If there is something I've left out on budgeting, also share with us on the comment section below and tell us what you'd like to see on this channel. More about finances, investments, and general information. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends, and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you on the next episode.